Hello, everyone. Thank you for being here, even after we had to, take an unwanted pause and we changed the day last time. So, in any case, thank you for being here. Thank you for being to this new episode of Unlucky Gamers Talk. Today, we will talk about Tiny Teen Adventures in Wonderland, which it's a kind of like old game at this point, but we never talk about it, and it's very interesting. So, in case this is the first time you are watching us, thank you for giving us your time. I am Diego Cutie. I am a game designer, creative director in the game industry by over 16 years. More recently, you might have played Star Overdrive or A Quiet Place: The Road Ahead, which I worked on. And also, I collaborate with studios and publishers too. Yesterday, I was literally with Focus, publisher, most recently or most successfully right now of Space Marine 2.
Yeah. And hi everyone, I'm Uriel Cozzolino. Usually I'd say I'm a game designer also, but since September I've been working as producer at Punkle, and yeah,
You can actually say it.
yes, I can finally announce it. And very recently we announced a new game that we have been collaborating to bring to life, that is still a Warhammer game, Warhammer Survivors. So
Send
yeah,
it link to the trailer and everything.
yes, absolutely.
People needs to. So,
And yeah,
oh,
today
please,
we
please.
will talk about Tiny Tina, and as you said, that was one of the first games that we played together. So it was a long time ago, but it was the first very long game that we played together, like from start to finish,
Mm-mm.
in co-op mode. And yeah, I think there are a few interesting things that we
Oh,
can
definitely.
say. Also, because not very long ago, Borderlands 4 came out, and yeah, we mentioned something during last episode. Maybe today we can do some more. We can take it into account. Some
Yes,
comparison.
absolutely, yes. And first, I want to say something though, which is, for people that are watching us for a long time, Uriel kept this secret from us for a very long time, very, very long time, and only now, since September, so September and October, full 2 months to keeping the secret. Some people will not appreciate that.
Yeah, actually, I've been knowing since before the summer.
Well, you're just making the thing worse,
Yeah, so we're seeing.
not making it better.
I will change the subject now. Uh, we are seeing the gameplay of Tiny Tina, and as you can see, Tiny Tina is an FPS, so a first-person shooter. It follows the classic Borderlands franchise rules. So it's a loot shooter. You every time you kill an enemy, you will loot something, and there is a great variety of weapon. If I remember correctly, I don't know which Borderlands, but it holds the record as the game with most game variety ever. So
For weapons.
yes, for
Yes,
weapons
for sure, for
variety.
sure. They have like a quintillions amount of weapons.
Yeah, exactly. And
Definitely.
maybe that's the first thing that we can start talking about. So the weapon system and how do they create all of this variety?
You want to start or you want me? Oh, before also someone join us. Thank you for giving us your time. Feel free to say hi. Feel free to write something in the chat, ask question, participate, collaborate, whatever you want. It's a very friendly uh, live stream. So just be happy and to participate. You want to start, Uriel, on the weapon system, or you want me to start?
No, it's the same. I mean, yeah, okay. I'll go and you will go in more details because you have played all of the Borderlands games while.
Well, I'm missing the fourth. I
Oh,
need to play
yeah,
the fourth.
right. Anyway, you've got much more experience than me on this brand. So basically, there are a few different kinds of weapons. So these are like archetypes for weapons, and there are some brands for each weapon. Now, each archetype and each brand keep their own uniqueness. But what create, and obviously each different kind of weapon can belong to each different brand, but what creates most of the variety are the attachment. So each weapon can be equipped with some different attachments that will give new effects, and we're not just talking about number modifiers, stat modifiers. So
which are
okay,
still present though.
yeah, they are. So it's not just about increases the damage or something like that, but sometimes they create whole new effects for the weapons. And since all of this is completely procedural, based on pseudo random, um, basically there is an virtually infinite amount of possible weapons that will come out, and they will come out. So it's almost impossible to find exactly the same build twice in two different rounds.
More or
And
less, yes. And that's what is actually something that exists from the first Borderlands. It was their unique selling point. It's a looter shooter when you get so many weapons all the time. When you beat someone, they spawn like a boss. They spawn like 25 weapons at the same time. Why so many? Because they don't have a limit for weapons. You will always find probably a newer weapon or a stronger weapon or a different weapon or stuff like that based on exactly what you were saying. So as you see here now, there was a weapon on the ground. The player completely checked very quickly. It was interesting for them. It wasn't. Sure, let's continue with something else. And this is an absolutely amazing thing on variety, but also is an amazing thing on um, player freedom for building, because it is very, very probable, let's say almost sure, but just for statistical relevance, it's not technically 100% sure, but it's very, very, very probable that you will find a type of weapon that you enjoy. That you will find something that has the exact combination of rate of fire, precision, attachment, special abilities, aesthetics, everything that you enjoy. And there we go. One with weapons. See, watch this weapon. Maybe. Okay, he got it. He's not using it, but he got it. So maybe for future could be interesting. And that's it. So this is very, very good. And it's a system, as I say, they invented from the first one. And they are continue to using it. And it's a unique selling point, but also now it's a brand message of Borderlands. You will have gazillion of weapons. So much there is something funny happens if you play Borderlands and you go into random co-op. It's very common and it's kind of like a tradition almost. If you go in co-op mode with random people, you drop to each other all the weapon that you don't need. So every player drops like 20 weapon. There are 4 players, so there's gonna be like 60, 80 weapon, and then everyone kind of like check everyone else's weapon because there might be something that they like from the other player pile. And then you think, and how do they redistribute that? How do they remember? They don't. There are so many weapons. It's pointless to divide the loot. It's just, yeah, if you want something from my pile of stuff, just take it and show me your pile of shit. And if there is something, I'll take it. Done. And it's interesting because basically, weapon are usually the most interesting element of a game, and in this case, they are still are. But there are so many here that you just accept the fact of they lose value. That's something that I lived with my first, no, with Borderlands 3. No, maybe 2, 2 and 3, yes. Which was in the first Borderlands, when I found a legendary, I was just, oh shit, it's a legendary, I will use it for the next 300 hours of gameplay. And then it was like, arrived at the last levels of the game, it was like, oh yeah, I have 7, 8 legendaries, stuck somewhere Oh, another legendary. Ah, I don't want it anymore. So let's stop it. You lose interest because there are so much weapons, so much possibility, and it's really experimentation based. So when you have to change your weapon, you don't feel bad. You feel, yeah, I will have 300 million more. Regarding specifically, Tiny Tina is one of the spin-off of Borderlands. In this case, this is a game that still follow the general structure of Borderlands, but the setting is that you are playing Dungeons and Dragons, or the equivalent in the Borderlands universe. I don't remember. It's still with D. It's something like I don't remember it. While you're playing it, she's the dungeon master, and basically, she is inventing stuff on the fly. You know, she's changing the rules.
Yeah,
You are
reacting.
you're reacting exactly. You are technically, yes, you know, a class. So a shooter, but you also have a class. You're a bit more melee. You're a bit more mage.
Yeah, you can even multi-class in the game.
Yes, it's true. I forgot about that. Yeah, yeah. You can even multi-class. Absolutely. That's a mimic. There we go. Classic D&D thing. There is a mimic, and you know there is a big bag. There you go. That's the kinds of thing that was saying that you drop a lot of things. And there is an evil bad guy, and it's mostly a comedy game. You know, he jokes on D&D. He jokes on the Borderlands. He jokes on that, and actually, I enjoyed the game. It's a very pleasurable experience. We finish it. There we go. Tina changed it. You know, no, it's not a fun. Now you are in a Mushroom Kingdom. There you go. She just changed it on the fly. You know, she's the master. She can do everything she wants. She has a bit of a power trip doing the game.
Yeah, but this actually makes it interesting because it finds a way mechanically and narratively to com- constantly change the pace of the adventure and of the experience. So you will completely change the scenario, the enemies, the even the rules of the land that you are working within. So one moment you are here in the forest, and the next one, spoiler, the sea gets erased, and now you're wandering through, and every single fish in the sea is killed immediately, and now you're wandering on the bottom of the ocean without
Yeah,
sea.
she's a very creative master. Let's say that.
Yeah. But going back to the weapon and to all of that variety, that's great, obviously, for longevity, replayability. It makes for great builds, but it is also a nightmare to balance
Mhm.
because, of course, there are almost infinite variables. And
Okay.
how does the game try to work this out? So, first of all, we have the rarity system. Diego was mentioning before, rare legendaries. So, basing, I guess that they have like thresholds of power for each weapon, even if it is procedural. So, how many attachment they can have, how powerful are they, and summing all of these together will arrive to a certain value that says, okay, this weapon belongs to the common kind of weapon, or to the rare, or to the legendary, or whatever. So they will try to give you more powerful weapon as you go on. But this is not a perfect system because, as we know very well from our experience in Tiny Tina, uh, there is still so much random involved that I don't want to say it's impossible to balance, or maybe it takes too much time. I don't know if they did it on purpose. Just say, okay, you reach a certain part of the game, from now on you can be broken as a
Oh,
character.
it is. It is on purpose. I wanted to join that, and there is something that Arius said here, which, by the way, Arius, thank you for joining us. There's also someone
Hi.
else watching you, so feel free to say hi. And I will say, hello, unpopular opinion. Too many weapons means too much RNG, so less planification in build and character evolution. And I agree on that. But they did solve this problem. So before going to the Arius point, which I agree,
Mhm.
I want to continue to what Uri was saying, which is they don't balance the game.
Yeah.
At a certain point, every single Borderlands or Borderlands, let's say, inspired game, it's meant to be broken. You are meant to be or incredibly DPS, so like killing everything that slightly touches you, or basically unkillable. It's part of the experience, and that is the reason why it's not a PvP experience in any form of way, but it's always only co-op or single player. Because at a certain point there is so much RNG, as you said, that you will get a certain combination of numbers with your particular build, and that's why I will arrive now answering Arius,
Mhm.
that makes you unkillable or incredibly broken through
Damage.
damage, or I don't know, able to do certain things that you shouldn't do and stuff like that. And how they do that? With numbers and RNG on their weapon side. And how do they keep the build? They do that through skill tree. And that is how they manage to do it, and how they solve the Arius problem, which is a very big problem, which is weapon mostly give only one type of things, which is DPS. So they allow you to do damage, which is very important because it's a shooter. So don't get me wrong, it is super important. Oh, this is the level that you are taking the Smurfs. It's the
Yeah,
joke on the
you're
Smurfs.
right.
This is the joke on the Smurf. She's Smurfetta, the girl Smurf. And of course, they are monstrosity from Tiny Tina Mind. And so, how they do it? So, basically, every other things like healing, special powers, grenades, and mainly many other things are all connected to your skill tree. That is what affects the most your ability to do the skill tree. So even if you have a very strong weapon that has an incredible IDPS or very cool stats, if it doesn't match your skill tree, it's not the weapon for you. It might be the weapon for your friend, or it might be the weapon that you want to change the skill tree into. You can do that. It's very easy to respec in Borderlands. But weapon alone will not make your build. You need to make the build through the skill tree, and usually each character has 3 skill tree that kind of suggest the type of build that this character can do. Now, of course, the hybridization you can take skill of skill tree 1 and skill number 2 of skill tree 3 and things like that. But generally speaking, that is your build. The weapon is the DPS of your build, which is still very important, but it's not your build. To give an example, in Tiny Tina, I did a class that one of the skill trees suggested to be a mage, basically. And magics in Tiny Tina are grenades. So I built my class in order to be not very high on DPS, so I wasn't taking the highest damage grenade, but I took ability and things in order to get the largest amount of grenade. And at a certain point, I found some weak grenade, but they had like five uses. And so, thanks to my build and the fact that I have a grenade with 5 uses, I had infinite grenade. So even if the damage of the grenade itself wasn't that great, I just continued to spam grenade. Because the time that I finished the 5, my ability regenerate other grenades, and so I had infinite grenade basically.
Yeah, I remember the FPS on my computer were not very happy about this.
No, of course no, because grenades, as I say, in these games are magic, so they kind of have a lot of
so many VFX
visual effects. So I agree, and I think that the Borderlands team did find a very elegant solution to this problem of RNG, in which you have too much RNG, but it's only on the DPS. Everything else is on your skill tree, which makes your build a build.
Yeah, I think they also this is for sure this is the main aspect of this. I think they also try to put in a few other minor systems to still help you get what you want at a certain point. The first system you already mentioned is they give you a lot of weapon. Finding a new weapon is not something rare. That happens during the game. You continuously find a lot of new weapons. So eventually, you will find what you're looking for or something that makes sense to your build. And for whatever weapon or grenade that you find that you don't actually like so much, you can always sync it. So there are places where you can basically strip it down for a coin, resources, something, a currency that you can spend at the shop to buy weapons choosing from a pool. So you will find what you're looking for. And the other thing is exactly what Diego was saying before. These all of these weapons that you find, you are not the only one finding this weapon. Every single member of the party will find these weapons, and they will be able to exchange it. So it's multiplied by the number of players in the party.
First of all, I absolutely agree with what Uriel said. And there's someone else watching us new. Thank you for joining us. Feel free to say hi, to ask questions, participate with opinions. And Arius said the problem is that the skill tree builds usually collapse to one or two best choices. The min max strategy on equip is very important. It is, but it is a min max game. It's expected for you to be a god at a certain point. It's the type of experience that I look in Borderlands. I want to be completely and utterly broken at a certain point of the game, and not very late in the game. It's not, you know, post game. You want to be almost unbeatable in some form by the mid if you're doing everything, and if you're not doing every mission, probably by the end of it. It is the experience. It's the same experience that is in Diablo. In Diablo, you want to min max a lot. Is the only way to go into Torment. And when you are into Torment, you want to min max even more. It makes sense. Absolutely. It makes sense that you don't like it. I fully agree. It's this type of thing that some people like, some people don't. But for me, this is exactly the experience that I want in Borderlands. I want to min max numbers and min max stats until I find a way that suit my power fantasy needs, let's call it. And for example, in this one, I choose grenade because I'm very bad at aiming. And with grenades, I don't have to aim; they just explode. I have to have a general idea where they need to explode. And this is Gargamella in Italian. I don't know actually the English name for Gargamella. Gargoyle something. That is the evil guy in the Smurf
The Smurfs, yeah.
cartoon. This is the kind of thing that you see in this particular game. As I say, it's a spin-off of Borderlands, so they go very crazy with ideas. And this quest is all about the Smurf.
Yeah, there are a few quests from Claptrap. There is Pinocchio, the certain
Pinocchio,
point.
yes.
Yeah, I don't remember. There are so many, and it was very fun actually.
Yeah, it was. It
I will
was.
use this word. It
No,
was
it was. It
actually
was
fun.
hilarious. Like the fact that you are now shooting Smurfs is hilarious. Just on its
Mhm.
own. It is. Although I think this video is showing something very interesting that we said on other games, which is it's even this game that it's a spin-off Borderlands, so they could have tried more, but they didn't. It's a solitary co-op.
Yeah.
You see these two players that maybe are friends. I have no idea. Maybe they're not. But as you see, they are just randomly interacting with each other.
Yeah, we are not almost never seeing the other character, the other party member on the
No,
screen.
you're killing your things. I'm killing my things. And by the fact that we are two, we are killing more efficiently.
Mhm.
but we are not really interacting in any meaningful way.
Yeah, in fact, I remember many times during our campaign when we were just playing like two different parts of the stage.
Exactly. Yes. Absolutely.
Because once we were broken, both broken as characters, we didn't even need to be that efficient together. We just were able to wander off, everyone in their part of the map, wiping everything out of existence. And yeah, this actually brings me to another point that is important in most co-op games, that is where players, like RPG games, where players have levels and a power scale.
Mhm.
How do you balance the potential difference in power scale between the two characters? Because in this game in particular, there is one of the players is the host, so the whole world belongs to the host, and potentially the host can play alone, can play with different players each time. So the two or more party members could have very, very different um, levels
Mm.
inside the game. How do you balance that? So what Tiny Tina chose to do is they give you a choice. So you have two possibilities. You can switch them in the main menu. So one of these is um, everything is set up to be coherent with the level of the host. So if the other character is under leveled, for
Or
example,
overleveled.
or yeah, but if it is under level, they will have a very hard time trying to keep up. The other way around, if he is over leveled, they will just carry through the game. But all of the loot will also be of the same level, etc. And the other possibility is that the game adjusts the difficulty and the loot, the rewards, based on each character individually. So one of the players will be seeing on his screen enemies of level 10, maybe because he is level 10, and he will get loot for 11, 10 players. While the other player, he is at 25 level, he will fight harder enemies and find better loot. So it adjusts dynamically based on the level, and you can just switch it off. So what I wanted to ask Diego was, what do you think?
Of the two
Are
system or in general?
yeah, in general, are
Yeah.
there other systems that comes to mind about
Oh,
this?
they are, but all of this system they have only. I can cite other, the classic Dark Soul, the doubles, the boss life, or triples, the boss life. It's a very typical example. There
Mm.
are other that take the medium level of the players, or instead of using the player levels, they use player stats like DPS, and so they say, mediumly, this is the amount of damage that all the team could do by shooting the same person, which means I'm inventing right now
Yeah.
that I'm inventing in the sense I'm inventing the statistics. This system exists, but let's say that there is a 10 life thing, and me and Uriel were playing together, and we can output 3 damage together. Maybe I output 2, and Uriel output 1. It means per second. It means that to kill this guy, we need 1 second, 2 second, 3 second, 4 second. So generally speaking, this system what it can do is knowing mediumly how much this guy should survive in second, and say, oh, this type of enemy should last, I don't know, 10 seconds. So science now is lasting 4 seconds. It means that he needs to have, hypothetically speaking, double of the health.
Mm-mm.
By having double of health, it should at least survive for 8 seconds, plus a 20% in precision and stuff like that. It might work. So this is one of the system, but all these systems have one concept in common, which is the weakness of all this system, which is they check the numbers. They only check the numbers. So they increase the health, they increase the life, they increase the speed, they decrease damage, whatever, but they only work with numbers. And why is this a limitation? Because if you played any Souls game, you know that the boss will concentrate on one enemy at a time. So while maybe he's concentrating on me, you can go behind the boss and kill him. And then he will concentrate on you, and I will do the same. It's what in game language is called get the aggro, get the aggressiveness. That's kind of the concept. Now, sometimes people solve this problem by having the enemy do 360 attacks. Then no matter where you are around, they will do it. Now, as you see, also Tiny Tina changed the rules again, and now she just added a new character, which is a character from the original series, but now it will say different things and stuff like that. Also, someone else is watching us. Thank you for joining us. Feel free to say hi. Thank you for giving us your time to share your opinion and anything. So, in generally speaking, why these things is not fixed order than number? It's a bad thing to say, but I will say it. Most of the time, it's not worth it. Game like Tiny Tina are co-op secondary. They are solo game that allow the possibility to do co-op. Because it sells more, really. It adds a layer of we are chatting together and we are having fun in this way. So it adds that. Since this is not a co-op game first, it means it's not worth it to invest a lot of resources into making the co-op much, much better than the solo experience. Which means that we will reuse the chip system, and the chip system is numbers. For games that are intended to be co-op first, they usually work on the AI of the enemy and the attacks of the enemy. They have special attacks and special AI in order to make them more complex to multiplayers, like 360 attack, area attack, being able to change aggro faster, requiring special strategy. For example, Destiny 1 and Destiny 2 is very good with that. If you played any of the ride in Destiny, they usually require a MacGuffin, so a specific object to be beat, or a specific strategy. And this strategy or this MacGuffin requires collaboration. Very simple example from the first ride absolute in Destiny, which was the Glass Vault. In the Glass Vault, the enemy, the boss ride, had a special attack that will instantly kill everyone in the room, and it's 360, so it will attack everything everywhere. The only way to survive is to be close to a character that needs to activate the special magic shield that makes you immune to that attack. And this is a strategy. It requires someone to have lower DPS to keep the shield, check for the boss anticipation phase, and when you notice that the special attack is coming, say, everyone, hey, I don't know, I'm on this rock. Everyone join me because I'm about to activate the shield to not instantly die to this boss. And there are plenty of these things. For example, in Destiny 2 first ride boss, the Leviathan, there was the boss was able to basically exist kind of like in two worlds, like a physical world and a metaphysical world. And you need to split the team in order to attack the boss from both dimensions on one of three different weak spots at the same time. So let's say that I'm in dimension A and Uriel is in dimension B. I need to say, Uriel, I'm going to attack his left shoulder. And so Uriel needs to attack his left shoulder. And then we can pop the weakness point, and we needed to collaborate, because if it was just shooting, it would have not worked. But that is a MMO Lite. It's a co-op game by nature. Well, this is a solo game that allow a co-op experience. So investing all that resources is not necessary. You just want to do what you're saying now. Someone take the aggro, someone else does the damage, and there you go, and the boss dies very easily. But it's okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we were actually able to exploit this strategy very easily because our builds were basically, I was immortal and Diago output infinite amount of damage by
Infinite
making my
grenades.
yeah by making my GPU explode. And we actually reached the point where we were broken
Yes,
very
completely.
early in the
Yes,
game,
yes.
maybe a little bit too early. I remember that we were enjoying the game, but we were
For the
literally,
comedy aspect, yes.
yeah, at a certain point we were literally just one-shotting anything, including bosses, and that takes away from the fun of the game. Any kind of fun, because it's not that interesting to arrive into a boss fight, into an arena, click a couple of buttons, and everything is over.
I do agree on that.
There is no challenge, there is no mastery, there is not. It's not even humorous at a certain point, because the first time, okay, we laughed. Oh my god, we are super. But the second time, okay, I kind of wanted to see
Mm.
what this boss was about. The only bosses that lasted more than a few seconds were the bosses that were,
Have phases,
yes, or they had like invincibility
shield.
moments. Yeah, so we had to, okay, we can wait.
Exactly. We have to wait until the invisibility and then kill him.
Mm.
And
But
yeah,
yeah,
I agree. We went a bit too OP too early,
mm,
but I also have to say that this happened because we did every
so
single
this
thing in
this
this
is
game.
a legendary
This is
item.
legendary.
Yeah.
We did every single thing in this game, though. Compared to many time I play Borderlands games, I usually do the main quest plus few interesting side quests, but not every side quest. The fact that all the side quests in this game were so stupid, so incredibly stupid in a positive way,
Yeah,
and so incredibly fun in the really humorous way,
yeah,
we did every single of them. And I think that's allow us to become broken very early, because I think you're not expected to be. Sorry, sorry for this. I am very tired because I was in Paris yesterday. To be to expect it to do every single thing in this game. I think you're expected to jump a lot of this content, especially in such a unique game. Because, for example, I think this game it's very for gamer.
yeah,
Borderlands is not necessarily a gamer game. It's a shooter. Okay, you have stupid characters, sure, but this is a very you will
yeah. A lot of fan service.
exactly you have fan service only if you're a Borderlands fan. You will have fan service only if you're a D&D player. So there is a lot of things that are fun for that reason for me.
Yeah. In fact, the simple fact that we did every single quest, sub quest, etc., has a lot to say about the game. Because even if we were super broken and mechanically speaking, it was not that interesting to play anymore. Didn't matter. We were enjoying the experience. So that was great. It's just a little bit a shame because narratively speaking, it was nothing like special, narratively
No,
speaking,
no, no.
but it was still interesting to see the narrative develop, and it kind of did a disservice. I don't think this is a word in English, but it lowered the quality of the narrative, arriving to the final boss and just killing it.
Obliterated him. Yes,
Yeah, that took away a little bit, but
that
it's
is
okay.
kind of what I had with Expedition 33.
Yeah,
Without spoiler, in Expedition 33, it's still a game that you are expected to create broken builds. You are expected.
yeah,
Also, it's even in the narrative that you are expected to create a broken build.
yes,
But you do that a bit too early, in my opinion, too. And so you arrive at the end bosses. They have this fantastic music, this fantastic strong narrative to them, and then you do like "Achoo!" and they die. And they
yes,
die even without phases because they don't have phases. They have one single life bar. So if you shot them, you shot them. And at a certain point, after it did happen, I starting to in a game like Clair Obscur, not on this one, because I say the narrative is we were saying it's not it's fun, but it's not interesting. It's a fun, it's a joke. But in Clair Obscur, I started to self nerf me enough to listen to what the boss was saying, but not enough to be weak. Just enough to say, "Oh, I don't one shot you, so I can listen what you're saying." But it's still not a challenge. I'm still way above your possibilities.
I'm a mercifully God.
Exactly. I don't know if it's mercifully, because one shot can be more merciful
Maybe.
to more pain. I think like I'm a narratively the interest god.
Yeah. I want to see your fate develop. But yeah, that's a great point, because Tiny Tina doesn't take itself too seriously.
Not
But
seriously at all.
yeah, absolutely, that's the opposite. But Clair Obscur has a super deep, very serious narrative touching
Yes.
on deep topics. So,
Which, by the way, we talk. So if you're interested, there is a beautiful analysis of the first 45 minutes of Clair Obscur that we did on this channel.
and I think, I hope we will do another episode, because I was
We
not
will.
present that time. But yeah, there it hits you as a player a lot more to kind of ruin those final moments, because it's like, okay, cutscene with presentation of the boss, it's a super impactful moment. Cut to combat, one attack, dead. Cutscene with the dying boss. It breaks all of the immersion, and that's a shame in a game like that.
It is. It
Yeah.
is absolutely yes. That's why I think in this game, also someone else is watching us. Thank you for joining us and giving us your time. Feel free to say hi or to have your opinion, question, whatever. I agree. In this game, it's still not like a good thing, in generally speaking. But you can go on because you're not playing this game for the strong. You're playing this game for the narrative, but not for the strong narrative, for the fun narrative,
Yeah.
for the comedy value. But in Clair Obscur, the narrative, the character development, what actually the character are saying, it's the reason why you're playing the game. So the fact that you one shot the boss and you don't listen to all the sentence that the boss is about to say, it is a real shame.
Yeah, it ruins the experience a little bit.
It does. It does. Sound like, as I say, I had to nerf myself for doing it. But of course, very different games. Very, very different games. On the narrative, on the combat. And we will do another one on Clair Obscur for sure. I still continue to say that Clair Obscur, for me, is the game of the year. No doubt. Not because the other games are bad. I'm playing currently Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. It's a good game. I have played other games. But Clair Obscur is just on another level.
Yeah.
It is really, really on a completely different level.
Yeah.
For at least this year. I'm not talking for future, but for at least this year.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think we have like a few more minutes.
Yeah, we have a couple of minutes. Today we've been fast. So I think I want to add a couple of other things.
Please.
In general. In this case, I want to go a bit outside of design, but on something that works, which we don't talk a lot of this, but 16 years in the industry, you realize how many years are now? 5?
I don't know. Yeah, about 5-6 years. If we
6 years, so
yeah,
a lot. It's a concept of correct use of resources. So this game is cheap to make. Okay, why is cheap to make? Because it's an asset flip of Borderlands. Okay, in the most real sense of it, is an asset flip. Literally, some powers are the same powers that you have in Borderlands 3, just with a different thing. Some weapons are exactly the same thing with a sparkle of fantasy setting upon it. The menu are exactly the same. Some enemy are exactly the same. The balancing system is exactly the same. And that's okay. And that is perfectly okay. It's a very good use of money. There's nothing wrong with that. as long you're doing a good product. And this is a good product. Is a product with defect? Absolutely. Is a product that could have been better? Absolutely. But it's a good product. It is
Yeah,
a good product. And it's a very cheap product. And that's something that a lot of indie don't understand. But luckily, I can say that some indie understand it. For example, here in Italy, we have the team that made Plastic Duck Simulator that are milking the Plastic Duck brand that they own created. And it's a good thing. Like inventing a game, inventing a world, inventing difficulties, it's hard. Inventing system is hard. Coding them right is hard.
it's
So sometimes
expensive
if you
both in resources and money and
exactly.
time.
So sometimes just inventing, you know, something good and then asset flipping it in a way that it's still a quality game, it's okay. It is perfectly okay for doing these things. And this is a game that has its own identity within the Borderlands world. It's a fan service fun game, fan service humorous game within the Borderlands world. It doesn't cost as much as Borderlands. Even when it was out, it was not as expensive as Borderlands. Uh, you played it, you laugh, you close it, you remember about it. You sometimes think, oh, if I was stupid, like I happened at the start of this video, oh, the Smurf quest, so stupid, so fun, haha, okay. And that's perfectly okay. Not every game needs to be clear obscure, be a masterpiece. Not every game needs to invent everything from zero. Sometimes, if you have a working project, you can have a working game and doing it and still deliver a quality experience for a lower price and things like that. There is nothing wrong with it. And I don't know, a lot of indie teams maybe start with their own game first that maybe sells a bit but not too much. And then they're like, okay, now we do something completely different. I mean, maybe, but also you can continue to produce what you're doing it with a cheaper cost, faster because now you know how to do it
Yeah, you got
better.
the expertise. You already have maybe some of the code base.
Exactly. The
But
feedback, so you know what people like it and didn't. So this is a clever project, and also it's something fun to develop. And I mean fun in these times. Game development is hard. It's very stressful. It's very difficult. There are a lot of deadlines, a lot of pressure. Sometimes saying something, hey guys, we are basically modding. If you don't want to use asset flip, we are basically modding Borderlands. Just go crazy with ideas. Just go crazy on oh, you want to make a dick joke? Sure. You want to make a D&D joke? Sure. You want to make Bat Stallion joke? Famous character from Borderlands 2? Sure. Just go crazy. That's very refreshing for the team. It's a very pleasurable experience for the team to say, yes, I'm happy. I can actually do something completely silly, completely stupid. And that's actually what happened for most of developers working on game jams. A lot of developers go to game jams after they got a job, not because they need more work, but because it's finally is a possibility to do a very stupid, silly game. I will always remember the type of games that I made in Game Jam, and I will not tell this one because they will put me in jail if I tell that. So I will not tell. But when I was in Ubisoft, one of the team in Ubisoft made a very game that became kind of famous within that jam and within Italy because it was a game where you are a giant penis in a penis world and you shoot penis. And your weapon is a penis and you shoot other penises against penises based enemy.
you had one asset
Yes,
that made
exactly.
it work.
Very good. It's stupid. It will never sell. Everyone had a laugh. It was enjoyable. So these type of things, in which you take this character that is a very serious in Borderlands, and now it says funny stuff. He has a fairy thing. It's okay. No one is taking it seriously. It doesn't. Of course, you can also do that in a bad way, in which you sell this asset flip game for $90, and you try to rip off people. That's not good. But there's nothing wrong to use your own asset and your own material to make something good
Mm.
and cheaper and faster.
Yep, I agree, and I think this is a great message at the end of our episode.
Well, the Penisys game.
Obviously,
Obvi-
what else?
obvi-
Yeah, but yeah, I totally agree. Creating games is an incredibly creative kind of work, but doing it for work means that you need to follow rules. You need to have strict deadlines, and so it's like driving a Maserati, but you have a 30 kilometers per hour limit. So yeah, you are driving something that is incredible, but you need to stick to whatever you're doing, and having the chance to go on the I don't know, on the place where you can actually go with the Maserati and push it to the limits, like Game Jam or like a project like Tiny Tina, it's so refreshing.
Yes, it is. It's really that. It
Mhm.
is absolutely 100%.
Yeah.
Okay. Actually, we added more people than I expected, considering that we have been very bad in the last few weeks for my fault mostly. But we will try to be, of course, more present than usual. Thank you again for dedicating us your time. Now the time changed and it's Wednesday. So now is the date, official date is Wednesday for the future. Same time, which is 8:30 Czech Central European time. Thank you, Arius, to actually always be present, even with random things and nothing. I appreciate it. And also the other people that join us for longer or briefer moment. And I see you next week. Bye bye.
Bye.